With the holidays over and an Arctic freeze settling over the area, budget discussions are heating up for the school committee. With 3 meetings scheduled over the next month, the committee must finalize a budget to be presented at town meeting in May. On Tuesday, January 6th, Town Manager Kate Fitzpatrick joined the first of these meetings for her annual consultation.
The preliminary look at FY16 in last August was about an $800,000 deficit that we would be facing. We do expect, based on some positive growth in our commercial sector, which is what we've all as a community been working on for a long time, that we're going to be able to reduce that $800,000 gap.
Well, the long-awaited arrival of TripAdvisor and other changes in Needham Crossing will certainly have positive long-term financial impacts for the town of Needham. It's the present budget that concerns school committee members and the superintendent.
It's very encouraging to hear the plans of the future and the optimism, and hopefully all of these things will come true and will happen and will bode well for all of us in town. Unfortunately, it's not soon enough to help us with the current situation that we're in with the present budget, and I just hope that I know you realize it and understand it. Right now, we are being forced to deal with things that are really beyond our control.
We have additional pressure on our operating budget plan beyond what we had proposed back in December, early December. Additional, approximately at this point in time, $320,000 in additional special education tuitions that we may be liable for.
That funding could impact other programming improvements planned by the school committee. Town Manager Kate Fitzpatrick also points out another challenge coming from above to this year's budget.
On the downside, we're looking at what could be $1 billion deficit in state aid, or in the state budget, so we are expecting no increase in state aid for FY16.
As discussion shifted from the operational budget to capital funding, Fitzpatrick provided the committee with some good news.
All of the capital items for FY16 for the school department in one form or another have been funded. The large ticket item, which is 4.47 or so allocated for high school and classroom and cafeteria expansion, that we are recommending as a combination of both debt financing and cash financing.
This news was well received by the committee.
It's really great to hear that it sounds like the money for high school renovation is can be planned for and seems like it's going to be available. That's a top priority of the school committee, and there's a lot of overcrowding at the high schools, I'm sure you know, so it's great to hear.
Also discussed was the reallocation of the Public Facilities Maintenance Program as a standalone warrant article, which will serve to move regular building maintenance away from the capital funding where it currently sits. The collaborative efforts were not lost on school committee member Joe Barnes.
The tone of what you had to say, I think, is very encouraging, because I think you recognize, or we recognize, I do, kind of a partnership that seems to exist between the leadership downtown and the school department, and a willingness to recognize some of the needs that we have, and for including that in some of the plans going forward.
With a final vote on January 27th looming and much work left to be done, the school committee will hold several more meetings, including a public hearing on January 20th, as they work to finalize the FY16 budget. For the Needham Channel News, I'm Josh Eilber.